let's all agree that people, citizens who are tax-paying citizens of this country should not die this way at the hands of those who are supposed to be protecting us. So as far as I'm concerned, I gave 2 because the regional minister has admitted, even before D-Day today, that he actually authorized their extra judicial killings. He actually commandeered the military to go into Ejura.
Yeah, I mean, there are 2 things. So, sorry, there are 2 things. He called in the military, but he definitely didn't order them to shoot. I mean, there are 2 things. I mean, there's the deployment, and then there's the action on the ground.
No, what I'm trying to say is that, Evans, you don't deploy military officers and give them rubber bullets. You don't deploy military officers. And I mean, you deploy the military usually as a backup.
Yeah.
And if you heard from him, he said that I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong. He said that he picked intel. And why did he pick the intel? On his mobile phone. The last time I checked, Evans, we have the security sector in this country have their own secured line or communication line, which they, this GOTA thing they hold around, and they are supposed to be holding them. The last time I checked, it's the Minister of State. I would have expected that protocol, would have required him to even speak to the defense minister. The defense minister, if there was anything, would have elevated it usually to the CDS. CDS wouldn't be speaking to the army commander, would be speaking to the brigadier, the person in charge of that sector. But what he did was to have direct communication with the military. And I am saying that if any minister of state, DC, MCE, could call the military and ask them to go and perform this type of act, then Evans, we are in trouble. And so as far as I'm concerned, I was expecting the committee members to ask him more questions about that. Why did you bypass the Ashanti Regional Police Commander? When it comes to internal security in this country, the various regional commanders are in charge. When I talk about in terms of those who perform the professional security, I'm not talking about policy. The minister is at the policy level, but when it comes to the technocrat on the ground, is a regional police commander. We have 17 regions in Ghana, including police regions, including Tema. Each of them is manned by either a deputy commissioner or what do you call them, commissioners of police. So you speak to that person and say, this is the intel I've picked. If that person feels that he is incapacitated, he doesn't have the capacity to deal with the threat, he would call his counterpart in the region or elevate it to the IGP. Let me ask again. The regional minister did say that they said, they picked intel that they were going to burn down a police station. I know Ejura very well. I haven't been there for some time, but Ejura hasn't really changed. I know that very well. Where these people died, Evans, correct me if I'm wrong. Do we have any police station around there?
Well, I can't.
You need to check.
I don't know.
Do we have any police station? So let's assume, without admitting, that there was a police station there. I know police stations that have been burnt in this country. Police officers are trained to fend off rioters. But when they realize that in doing that, lives will be lost, they would allow properties to be destroyed instead of lives. But in this case, he brought in military officers who have not been trained to deal with rioters, to deal with civilians. And what did they do to them? Military officers will not retreat. Police officers would always retreat.
And so sometimes the videos that we give them, the videos that
Evans,
because I need to. I'll come
Evans,
to you
let me stay on.
Briefly, so I can go for a quick break. Yeah.
Police officers would usually retreat when they do their own risk analysis and realize that if they try, lives will be lost. They will retreat. And I'll give you an example.
No, I mean, briefly, because I need to go for
when there was rioting, they allowed it to go on. The George Floyd riots, they allowed it, they folded their arms and watched them, because if you have to, you kill human beings. But when you deploy the military officers are trained to stay on there, to stand their ground, not to retreat. And that is what exactly we saw.
Yeah.
So mine is that the line of questioning today is something that I find very worrying, and is the reason why I've given them day 1. I've given them 2 out of 10. I'm hoping that tomorrow they will come back better, so that when we do the analysis, I could up my game, give them maybe a better rate of 5 over 10, depending on, this is how I see it.
Yeah, okay, great.